All right, guys, so in the past 30 days, I've made $169,063 just within my AI business. And in this video, I'm going to quickly explain to you why I think you should stop falling for any sort of hype around tools like Claude Code or all these new AI fancy automation tools that keep coming out every single week that you think is the reason you're going to get rich off them or you're going to make all this money. And the reality is you're probably not. You've been fed a bunch of dreams from a bunch of different people online that say these tools are going to completely change your life. And maybe it has helped your life, and maybe it really has changed the way you do business, but it's probably a big reason you're actually not progressing. All right, if you really look at your bottom line revenue every single month. And in this video, I'm going to quickly explain what I think is a better way and what I'm currently doing today and what I've been doing for the past 3 years, just very transparently documented on this YouTube channel. All right, and one thing I want to say for transparency's sake, just that no guru or anyone's going to tell you online is cash collected is a completely different number than revenue, and they are not the same thing. Any business owner knows that. And number two, as this number is not profit, okay? $169,000, it sounds great, and it is great. It's an insane number for a 30-day period in a business, especially for me being 19 years old. But this is not profit. I have business partnerships, I have team members, advertising spend. This is not profit. But what I will say is this is a pretty crazy number. I can say very honestly, and it's taken me 3 years to get here. This has not happened overnight, and don't think this is going to happen overnight to you if you're starting a business today, because again, it's a big reason a lot of people fail online is you've been brainwashed that you're going to get rich quick, when in reality, you're not. It's not possible. Okay. This stuff takes a long time. And you can go back 3 years on my YouTube channel when I actually started to show this stuff. And it's just cool because you can go back at every step of my journey when I looked like a completely different person at 16 years old, obviously all the way to today, which my life has completely transformed for the better. And all these videos were just recapping every single month, me building my social media marketing agency at the time. And of course, it's grown into what it is today. So stop using Claude Code, use this instead. All right, again, I think Claude Code is an amazing tool if you're trying to build websites, and it can have a use case. But if you're trying to make a lot of money, I think there's a huge issue with it. And the reason is because you've been fed this dream that you can go make all this money through these courses, these 4-hour-long courses. You can build and sell all these new tools, these websites, these agents. But at the end of the day, look, it's low demand. You're probably going to sell it for low ticket, and it's just cheap. All right, anyone can do this stuff now. All right, there's a real skill gap, and there's not much revenue you're actually going to attribute probably to a business just by using Claude Code. Right, so while everyone in the space is trying to build thousands of the automations and apps and all these tools and get thousands of clients, I'm building a multi-million-dollar fortune by being intentionally small. So let me quickly explain. I find small, local, service-based businesses that are not low-ticket local service-based businesses. So this is businesses like restaurants, nail salons. I don't go after businesses like that because their margins are extremely small. I go after high-ticket local services. So this would be like companies like roofing companies, med spas, law firms, these businesses that make a lot of money, okay? And then I identify a few issues that all these businesses face, and I try to build a service and a solution around how I can help them. Because a lot of these business owners that are successful, they have money. They've been making money. They're 40, 50, 60 years old, but they have no clue how to use AI today. They see all the headlines, but they have no clue how to keep up with it. And they don't know how to use social media to their advantage. And that is where I can come in. And that's where I've really, excelled over the past few years. So real fast, before I go into the issues these businesses face, if you're looking at an industry to choose, I'll quickly kind of give you a guide on what I'd recommend. So there's two big buckets I look at if you're trying to pick your niche to go after. And your niche should be one industry that you choose, that you go all in on it, okay? So initially on my YouTube channel, I started going after real estate agents. It made sense for me, and that's how I really progressed. That's how I made a name for myself very early on YouTube and just in the whole space. And as time went on, I found a better industry for myself, and that was stem cell clinics. All right. So I know it sounds super specific, and it's because it is. They make a lot of money, and I just have the skills to work with them because I've been doing it for so long. But maybe you're looking at this and like, Carson, I have no experience. Who should I choose? Right? There's kind of home service and there's professional services, and then there's online businesses, high ticket online businesses. That I didn't show here because that entire bucket I just think should be reserved to only if you've ran a high ticket online business before. But the main easy kind of beginner friendly ones I'd say to start are roofers, HVAC companies, pool builders, solar, landscaping, bookkeepers, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, accounting, law firms, etc. Right? You guys get the point. All these business owners, there's a subset of group of these that are very successful, but they just struggle with the things I'm going to say in a second. So my advice to you is pick one niche and go all in on it. Don't try to do roofing and HVAC at the same time. You're probably going to fail. Okay. It's like if you're trying to catch 2 rabbits at once, you're going to catch 0, you know? And again, on top of that, you're going to be average at all and not a master of one. And that's a huge issue if you try to scale a business like what I'm going to show you here. Okay. So go all in on one, pick one, and ideally do something you have some experience with. So for example, if your dad was a roofer growing up, maybe you understand the lingo of how roofers work. Or if you know pool builders, you know, a bunch of real estate agents like I did when you're starting, maybe that's a good industry to go after, or you're getting a real estate license. You guys get the point. Okay. Choose one niche and go all in on it. So the issues these businesses face that I just mentioned is a bunch of things. Number one, a lot of them don't pick up the phone, okay? And this can cost them $1,000 to $10,000 per incomplete call, especially if it's like a roofing job, right? Or poor advertising efforts, right? They just don't know how to use social media, and that's just leaving a bunch of money on the table. Or the business owners are just overworked and they have a loss of time to spend on leveraged activities, which they should be doing as a business owner, okay? And this creates an offer for us to sell. And this offer, I like to say, is not a brick, but it's an entire bridge. You bridge the entire gap of pain points that your clients would have and these business owners have. So number one is you can run AI ads for these businesses on Meta, okay, which is just Facebook and Instagram. I know it sounds simple, and if you've never ran ads before, trust me, I thought it was like, learning another language when I was starting out, but it's not. It's actually really not that hard, and AI has made this stuff extremely easy today. And the reason this is because if you don't even know how to make these ads, you can use AI to do a lot of this stuff for you. There's a tool out there called arcads.ai. You guys can look it up. I'm going to show you right here. Arcads AI. You can click into it. It's like, I think $7 per video to generate. And look, has all these different human-looking AI actors here, and these are not humans. These are AI. And you can just feed it a script that Claude or ChatGPT generates for a 30 to 45-second script, and it can generate whatever you want from it. All right, and these are all ads you can leverage and use for your clients. And then second is you build a AI voice caller receptionist that sounds like a human through a platform called Retail AI. And I was actually just at their headquarters in San Francisco right around a month ago, met up with the co-founders. Great team, great product. I think they're the absolute leader in the market right now. And you can look them up as well, just Retail AI. And it's the same thing like Arcads. You don't need to know how to code to use this platform. All you have to do is go to a platform like ChatGPT or Claude, make a script for the actual caller, and it will call for you. Okay, it's pretty crazy. And I'll kind of show you guys a quick example right here.
Thank you for calling 123 Realty. This is Julia. How can I help today?
Hi, Julia. I am going to talk with a specialist.
Just so I connect you with the right specialist, are you calling about buying, selling, or general information?
So you guys get the point, right? That's how this stuff sounds, and it's extremely effective when it's set up properly, because the way this works is your clients, all of them want more customers, right? So you set up AI ads to generate more customers and leads through the Meta ads, and then the second, within 5 minutes of them opting in, of new interested people opt into these ads you make, you have this Retail AI caller call them and qualifies them and books this lead into your client's calendar. And that's the entire sales process. And this sales process you can charge $5,000 to $10,000 upfront for, if not more. I charge $15,000 to $25,000 in my agency for this stuff, and I have loads of sales call recordings from my own team that you can check out on my YouTube channel to, actually verify this information. I charge actually a lot more than this, but if you're a beginner starting out, you could charge even as small as $3,000, okay, for like a 90-day service with both of these things all the way up to like $10,000. But you probably might be thinking here, Carson, I can't sell anything for that much. And that's what I thought as well when I was starting. And the problem is you have the mindset right now that you're selling the solution. Like a lot of people tell you to do on YouTube, right? You're building all these apps, you're, building all these automations that's going to save some time. That's the problem, okay? You're not actually selling the outcome, which is actually more money. You're building a revenue driving essentially system inside of your client's business that works over 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, even more than that, years, all right? And this stuff has been around for a long time. It's just now getting to the point where AI can actually do a lot of this stuff. And the average cost to replace a complete standard HVAC system, ranges from $6,300 to $15,000, with many homeowners paying $8,000 to $15,000 for high efficiency, right? This is just for one HVAC system. Or microneedling session, right? At a clinic, between $200 and $700, with an average to $300 to $400 per session, okay? That's just per session, okay, of these clinics. And the easiest way to make yourself rich is by making others rich. And that's a saying I've pretty much always lived by, because I've done advertising since I was 16. And this stuff can work really, really well if you do it effectively. All right. And I guess the way I can kind of visualize this stuff for you, if this makes sense, is your client is going to pay you a sum of money. And then you take a fraction of that sum of money to hire a contractor who's already skilled, like a developer, like I had. I was actually with my developer in person when I went down to the retail headquarters in San Francisco. And this developer and this media buyer that runs the ads, whatever it is going to do the work that you've sold your client on. They're going to deliver the service to your client, and it's essentially a repeat system that happens over and over again. Now, what I recommend if you're starting out is you actually do this stuff yourself first. I recommend you learn the skills before you hire contractors, because then you're going to actually understand what you're actually selling, and then you can train someone up on, how to do things properly without just gambling and guessing that they know what they're doing. Okay. And that's a big mistake I made early on when I was starting, like right around 16, 17 years old, So that's the entire service, and that's exactly what I call an AI agency service, okay? So to wrap this up, that's the entire service, and that's the entire offer, all right? And I really think you should steer clear away from a lot of this Claude Code hype and all these new AI tools hype. And I also want to say, can Claude Code make great websites, make great apps, make great all these things? Yes, it can. Of course it can. It's actually extremely impressive. But the problem is most people don't have an issue with their product. They have an issue with their marketing, okay? Because they can build the best app in the world, but if no one knows about it, they're not going to make any money. And that's what I see countless day in and day out, essentially, is people that build all these crazy tools and these crazy apps, but no one actually buys them because they just don't know how to market it properly. And this right here, this entire service that I explained to you right here, this is something that you can actually sell for a high upfront amount that can generate a very, very clear return. All right. What is building a website for a client really going to return? How do you net a return? And how do you really understand how much money that's making back for your client? Or building some software, building some app that you have to, get hundreds or not thousands of clients to sign up for it to make any substantial money because it's a small, recurring low ticket item or service. That stuff just is a really, really hard way to make any substantial money today. And that's what I want to show light on in this channel. So hopefully this makes sense. And hopefully you enjoyed, learning what an AI agency is and how I've been doing it over the past few years. And if you want to learn directly from me on how you can start your own AI agency today, I'll have a top link in the description below where you can essentially book a one-on-one game plan with me or my team, pretty much setting up a game plan for how you would start a business like this. And if you're a fit for my mentorship group, okay? I've been running this business model, like I said, for many, many years. And I've learned what's good, what's bad, and what you should and shouldn't be doing. I've wasted a lot of money on things that don't work. And you can essentially speed run a lot of the things that would just waste a bunch of time and money, okay? Through my direct help. Once you join, you get a direct call directly with me, no coach, no group call, none of that, directly with me. And I can walk you through and kind of get to meet you and I guess help you more one-on-one, because I feel like that's really what's lacking in the space today. With that being said, that link will be in the top link in the description below. And yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe. Peace.